as they're telling the benches to sit down here to start this game. I think there's going to be a lot of standing in this one. As we're underway here in Daytona Beach, tipped out of bounds off of FAMU. Calero Martin tipped it off for the Rattlers, and it will go to BCU to start the game.
Jesus Martin, Kenny, he's very much a big part of their team for the Wildcats. Had his first career triple-double against Grambling on Monday. 10s across in points, rebounds, and assists.
Ward going to work there. He stepped on the baseline, and he'll turn it over to FAMU. So turnover early on here for BCU.
Yeah, another thing to mention of Martin, also one of the best in the conference in blocks. He's a SWAT machine.
Bethunecookman coming in 12-5 in the SWAC. FAMU 10-7 in the SWAC, having a great year, all things considered. They are really trending up program-wise. Matthews 3 on the way, and he buries it. Milton Matthews gets the Rattlers up 3-0 here.
Matthews, he's a critical part of their offense, averages over 14 a game. And as you can see right there, deadly from DP is their biggest three-point threat by far for Florida A&M.
37% from beyond the arc, leads the SWAC in that category. Calero Martin with the basketball, hands it off. Ruzan answers with a 3-ball of his own.
That's just his 6th 3-ball of the year, Kenny. But he's not bad when he does chuck from deep. Over 46% on the season now with that shot.
Back-to-back 3-balls here, tied up at 3 apiece. Matthews out. Coffee drives, backing down his defender. Trying to get some space, goes up and squeaks that one in, drops in.
Nice job of getting the defender to commit in the air from Trey Thomas. One of the best in the SWAC at putting it in the cylinder, averages nearly 20 a game.
5-3, 2-point advantage here for FAMU.
And we haven't seen him yet in the game, but at some point you're going to see FAMU roll out with Sterling Young. He's another guy who can fill up the cup really quick.
Trey Thomas missed the fadeaway. Here comes FAMU. O'Neal tries a 3, and he knocks in that one. Shakir O'Neal, the son of Hall of Famer and TNT analyst Shaquille O'Neal, knocks it in. They give it him a 7-3 lead. Transfer from Texas Southern, coming over from another SWAC team. The Tallahassee, native of Los Angeles. Bethunecookman looking to answer. Ruzan going to work on the left wing. Left corner, rather. Cross-court pass to Thomas. Thomas drives baseline. Goes up and gets it to go. Left-handed shot right in front of the rim.
Oh, what a great transfer from one hand to the other.
Trey Thomas, the junior from Washington, D.C. He was supposed to be only like the second or third scorer in this offense, and he's been the top guy due to a lot of injuries.
Well, he clearly has a lot of talent, Kenny. You can control your body in the air like that while switching hands.
Transfer from Hampton.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to guard.
Stolen away. Reggie Ward comes up with it. He tries to go coast to coast, goes up, and he picks up the whistle. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. He'll try to tie the game up. This foul's going to go against FAMU, and they're going to go against O'Neal, his first, team's first here, first foul of the game.
Yeah, as you can see, that's a little Euro step type move there from Ward, and Young was kind of trapped. It's either let him go or commit the foul.
So Ward at the line here. First one's away. It's short. He's a 64% free throw shooter. Bethunecookman as a team, 69% on the year, 7th in the SWAC.
One quick sub already in, Kenny. Jameed Charles stepping in for, looks like for Jadarius Eatman.
He had 5 points against Southern as Ward couldn't get any of those free throws to go. Still a 2-point lead here for Florida A&M with the basketball. Walking it across the timeline, Roderick Coffey III. Coffey gets a high ball screen by Charles. And Coffey fires a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Thomas with it. Weaving between the defense, step back jumper's good to tie it up at 7.
Man, that's a hard shot to guard too when it's right. That lean back like that.
SWAC player of the week, 20 points against Southern, 27 against Grambling last week. Wildcats on a 4-game winning streak. Step back, Matthews, that one's no good. Palelo Martin gets the rebound. Outlet pass, out to Ward, he got it stolen away. Coffee with it. Gets to the right block, kicks it out. Matthews, he drives. Chapman 3 on the way, off the mark. Rebound secured by Reggie Ward. Step back, Bacon, get into the rack, we get him blocked away. O'Neal gets it. Trey Thomas with a stutter step there.
Shakir looking like Shaquille with that swat, Kenny.
15:58 to go, our first time out of the game. 7-7 is our score on the SWAC Digital Network.
Ayo, SWAC fans, the 2025 Starry SWAC men's and women's basketball tournaments presented by Buick will take place from Tuesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 15th at the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta's Airport District. The tournament will feature the top 10 teams from the SWAC competing for championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. All 14 games will be broadcast live on ESPN Digital Networks. For more information on the 2025 Starry SWAC men's and women's basketball tournaments presented by Buick, visit SWAC.org.
Today we celebrate the young, black, and fearless. Whether you are a creator, a storyteller, a motivator, or an activist, you are a change maker, and the future is yours. Be bold, drive change.
Back here in Daytona Beach, 15:58 to go. Let's take a look at the all-time series and players to watch in this matchup. Early on, 7-7 ball game here between FAMU and BCU. Players to watch, Trey Thomas. He's got 4 points already. As he is one of the players of the week, as we mentioned, his 5th honor in that aspect. And we're in the last game of this regular season here in the conference play.
Yeah, he's been really good in conference play in particular, too, averaging nearly 20 a game, just under 17 overall on the season.
Wildcats will get it in on the baseline. Ruzon with it. Going to work. Working against Charles. Cross-court pass stolen away. Here comes FAMU. Milton Matthews rocking the white and black shoe on opposite feet there.
Yeah.
Certainly a different look.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not the first time I've seen that, but definitely unusual.
Get it to the rack. Unable to finish that was Sterling Young, who had 20 points off the bench in their last matchup.
Usually you only see that with, like, you know, NFL kickers or something.
It kind of looks like he lost his shoe and he's playing with one sock. Or in the white socks, the white shoes. The
yeah,
right foot.
except he's actually not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look it. Yeah, you're right.
Watch the game film. That's what it looked like all looking at the replays. Is that one's a good take there by Sterling Young. He finishes that one this time.
Yeah, and finally coming off the bench. He's so dangerous off the bench is Sterling Young.
3 on the way. Good. Seneca Willoughby knocks it in for his first 3 points. 10-9, first lead here for BCU. Lead it by 1. They feed it, high post. Charles going to work. Crowd wanting to travel. So did Reggie Theus. Matthews, 3 on the way. Too strong. Whistle. And it's, I think it hit something on the top of the backboard out of bounds. So it's going to go back to Bethunecookman. Take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, solid defense that time from Ruzon.
Looks like he might have traveled.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Let's see if it hits something above. I think it hit the support system above the rim, or above the backboard here. So Seneca Willoughby, junior from Pennsylvania, will walk it across. He's somebody who got pushed into action a little bit more than he might have signed up for, with a lot of injuries to this.
He's had his moments though. He's had his moments though late in the season, Kenny, for sure. A couple of double-digit games. Got
caught in the air and turned it over, and then they turned it right back over. Kamaru just checked in, got that one stolen away. Matthews a 3, in and out. Rebounds, Trey Thomas. And this game's still trying to find its bearings here.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier, BCU can't really improve their seeding in the tournament. They're going to be a 3 no matter what. Not the case of Florida A&M. They do have something to play for here. They can definitely move up a couple of spots.
And they're trying to get into the top 6 and get a first-round bye.
As things stand right now, they are at number 6. So a win certainly keeps them there.
Nice move there. Ruzan couldn't get it to go. Shot clock expired there at the horn, but he did get it off the back. Couldn't get that second one to go, and it's back in the hands of FAMU. Coffee gets that one blocked away. Ruzan with a thunderous block there.
Well, now you know why he's the only Wildcat this season who's played in every single game and started in every single game too.
Let's take a look at the replay
When
here.
you can do things like that, man, that's getting up there. Great defense. So essential to have a guy who can protect the paint like that, Kenny.
Milton Matthews will trigger it in.
David Onanina now in the game for Bethune, and looks like Eatman's coming back in as well for Florida A&M.
Eatman's going to come in for Charles.
Khalil Kamara also now in for BCU.
I checked in about a minute ago. Almost got a steal there. He had a big game against Southern a week ago. 3 on the way, rattles in and out once again. Sterling Young couldn't get that one to go. This FAMU offense loves to shoot the basketball. They've had a couple that's in and out, just like that one as Thomas gets fouled on the drive.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it, Kenny. They're the best three-point shooting team in the conference. Coming in, shooting at 35% from beyond the arc. They're also second in the league from the floor at 44%.
Jordan Chapman comes in, speaking of three-point shooters, shooting at 39% from beyond the arc. One
of the downsides, though, being that type of a team is very often you live and die by the shot. If the shot ain't falling, then you got problems.
Calero Martin skies for that one, catches it, thought about the 3. Transfer from Missouri, fires a 3. That one's off the mark. Kamara there got blocked away. Here comes FAMU in transition.
Great block from Matthews.
Pushing it ahead and finishing at the rim, Sterling Young. You can see the senior from Queens and transfer from Charlotte waking up here with 4 points.
Yep, Young in their home finale loss against Southern put up 20 off the bench.
He had 28 bench points, he had 20 of them.
Yeah, he's had some monster games this year for them too. Had 37 against Arkansas Pine Bluff earlier in the year.
Thomas fade away from the elbow, couldn't get that one to go. Good rebound there from FAMU and Eatman. Matthews, crossover, gets to the rim. Lots of traffic, couldn't finish it. Willoughby comes up with it. Quickly ahead to Thomas into the corner. Kamara, 3-ball in the corner, no good. Rebound ripped down by Milton Matthews.
Terrific rotation, though, from BCU. Pass it until you got a wide open shot. Perfect execution, just couldn't finish it there, but that type of execution, if they can keep it up, that should serve Bethune well.
FAMU 1 for 7 to start it from beyond the arc. Bethunecookman 2 for 4 at 50%. Something to watch throughout this game. Matthews, he's had a couple go in and out. He drives, lost it, trying to go up. Calero Martin comes up with it, hands off to Seneca Willoughby. And they're going to slow it down here. Under 11 and a half minutes to go in the opening half.
BCU trying to sweep the season series with a win today, Kenny. They beat the Rattlers in Tally by 7 points to start the conference season.
Willoughby tries it 2. That one's knocked up in the air, out of bounds, off of Bethunecookman. They're going to say, wait, they're going to maybe change the call here. And it's going to be Bethunecookman basketball, but not before we take a timeout. Wildcats will have it when we come back. 11-10 is our score. FAMU leading by 1 here on the SWAC Digital Network.
Hey, yo, swag fans, the 2025 Starry Swag Men's and Women's Basketball Tournaments presented by Buick will take place from Tuesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 15th at the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta's Airport District. The tournament will feature the top 10 teams from the SWAC competing for championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. All 14 games will be broadcast live on ESPN digital networks. For more information on the 2025 Starry SWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournaments presented by Buick, visit SWAC.org.
Today we celebrate the young, black, and fearless. You are the creator, envisioning new worlds and making them real. You are seen as a storyteller, weaving tales that inspire and connect on a whole new level. You are a motivator. Your passion hits different and ignites purpose in others. You are an activist, fighting for justice and equality. You are a change maker, and the future is yours. Be bold, drive change.
Back here in Daytona Beach, 11-10 is our score. Let's look at the standings here in the SWAC. Like we mentioned, Bethunecookman there in the 3 spots. They have locked that up. They'll have a first-round bye. For Florida A&M, right now they're right there tied with Alcorn State at that 6th spot. They can lock up that 6th seed with a win or an Alcorn State loss. So they probably want to keep it in their own hands and try to get a win here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to go into the tournament with a little bit of run, right? Florida.
And one there as Ruzan went skying up. Or no, check that. Reggie Ward gets the foul and the bucket. Can't breathe in this one. We're back and forth. This is a fast-paced basketball game so far.
Yeah, Reggie Ward, a guy who welcome addition back to BCU. He was out for about a month, Kenny, with a hand injury, and you can see what he can do when he's right.
Trey Thomas there chirping with the FAMU bench a little bit, and they have to break that up. As you can see that in the bottom of your screen. So, like we mentioned, both these teams do not like each other, no matter what sport it is, especially on the gridiron and especially here on the hardwood.
Well, when you've played each other 176 times, you know, things tend to happen when you play one another regularly.
It's only the 2nd game here for head coach Patrick Cray in his 1st season.
Not to mention as well, of course,
2nd rivalry game of this rivalry, rather.
Yeah.
Ward couldn't catch the rim on that one.
Plus, I also mentioned they're both Florida schools, both entering the conference at the same time from the MEAC, where they were also very much rivals in that conference too.
So FAMU back with the basketball. 1-point lead here for Bethunecookman, 12-11. Matthews step back, got knocked there on the follow through. Kamara pleading his case, but he's going to pick up the personal.
Yeah, he said Matthews leaned into him. Let's see. He saw the leg kick out a little bit there. I see what Kamara was saying. But a lot of times, refs are not going to give you that call, not at this point in the game.
Matthews got 3 points. He's got a 3-ball. This is his first trip to the line here. He's a 78% free throw shooter. Knocks in the first one to tie the game up at 12.
Yeah, Matthews averages just over 14 a game. Not a guy who shoots a whole ton from deep, but, you know, he is their main 3-point shooter. Has hit 89 times this season. Young and Chapman also very much part of that 3-point crusade when the Rattlers love to shoot deep. They are a team that loves to as a whole. Plenty of other guys in this well will chuck it up if given the opportunity.
Matthews knocks in the second one to give FAMU the lead here. Bethunecookman looking to answer. Trey Thomas, leading scorer for this Wildcat offense. Hands it off to Kamaras. Thinks about the step back, hands it off. Onania couldn't get any space for that. He pushes out. Freeman into the game. We'll get to that in a second as he launches a long 3 that's too short. This is his first game since the 13th of January against Southern. Hasn't played since, and at that point he was averaging 16.5 points per game. So a big get back here for Bethunecookman. Another three, unable to answer on that one, as Sterling Young couldn't get that one to go, but they get the offensive rebound.
Looks like we're going to see Rosanna Martine check back in for Bethune, Kenny.
Matthews gets to the rack and lays it up and in. FAMU bench wanted an and one call there. 3-point advantage here, 15-12.
Tight game so far. It's playing that way.
Freeman with the basketball. Gets to the free throw line, hands it off to Thomas. He launches. That one's too strong. Into the hands of Coffey. He surges ahead. They got numbers, and they left him wide open right in front of the rim to lay it up and in with a finger roll.
Yeah, I would say Brayon Freeman made a business decision there. He is coming back from injury. Very much a slasher guard who can fill up the cup a lot. Something that Bethune could certainly use.
Right-handed hook. He gets the bucket and the foul. Brayon Freeman, welcome back. The senior from Oxon Hill, Maryland, gets that one to go.
And you can see what I was talking about right now, why I said he's a slasher type who can just drive it in. That's really his game. That's what they want him out there for. And it makes such a difference, Kenny, when you got a guy who can dive in from the top like that and give the defense fits. You know, if you can get the lane, great. If not, kick it out to somebody you can knock down a three.
Well, Freeman at the line. One shot coming to try to complete the three-point play and pull Bethunecookman with two. Within two, and he does. Knocks in the free throw. 9 minutes to play.
An interesting note about Freeman, too. Even though he's only played about half the season, today is 17th game, he's second on the team in terms of total minutes played. So when he's out there, they don't take him out.
Coffey with it on the left wing. Feeds it to Charles. Charles going to work against Ruzon. And a backdoor cut. Beautiful ball movement. Jordan Chapman finishes the layup.
That is gorgeous passing right there.
The senior from Bessemer, Alabama gets that one to go. His first 2 points. Freeman, stop and go into the corner. Kamara, three, nothing but net.
That's what Freeman can do for you. Pumping his chest right there, he should. That was a great look. Saw he didn't really have the lane, had Kamara in the corner. And that's an important role to play in this type of offense too, Kenny. When you're buried in the corner like that, sometimes it can feel easy to think that you're not part of the game.
Young, stop and go, tries to get the reverse layup to go, ran out of real estate. Here comes Bethunecookman. Freeman with the basketball, down by one. Feeds it down low. Calero Martin gets hit hard. O'Neal came in there and just landed on his head.
And it looks like the Spaniard's okay, Kenny, but man, he took a shot.
He's just getting up a little bit.
Well, it was almost like a horse collar, really. You'll see it on the replay.
O'Neal got caught in the air there trying to make a play. I don't think he thought that he was going to pump fake. He lost the ball there.
I mean, jeez. He had pretty much all of, was that O'Neal, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, O'Neal's body weight right on his neck. Yeah, that's going to hurt.
We'll take it to another break here on the SWAC Digital Network.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Some people deny the power of Flamin' Hot. Spicy deniers. They try to deny it to everybody.
Not hot at all.
But sometimes it's just impossible. So why deny it? Unleash your Flamin' Hot.
Back here in Daytona Beach, the Marshall Wildcats bringing the vibes here at Moore Gymnasium. 19-18, the visitors from Tallahassee, Florida A&M leading it by 1. Calero Martin, who just got hammered by O'Neal, will head to the line for 2 shots. Thomas leads away for Bethune-Cookman with 4 points. On the other side, Matthews has 7. Slow start shooting the basketball from beyond the arc for FAMU, 1 for 8, 12%. Bethune-Cookman, 42%, as Calero Martin knocks in that one. Yep. Wildcats 3 for 7 from beyond the arc, 38% from the field, 42% from the field for FAMU. So they're shooting it a lot better from the field, excluding beyond the arc, as Calero Martin knocks in both free throws to give BCU the 1-point lead. His first 2 points of the game. Matthews with the basketball, working against Seneca Willoughby, gets a switch down low. They try to feed it to Charles, and it's over his hand out of bounds.
One thing that I think the Rattlers need to improve on, Kenny, last time out when they lost against BCU, as a team they struggled from deep, only hitting 24% from the game for the field for that game. So far here, Kenny, they're 1 for 8. That's a number that's got to improve, really. Even though right now they're still within striking distance, this team relies on the 3.
Freeman launched a 3 that was no good, too strong. They live and die by the 3. They're going to have to start knocking them in if they want to win on the road here.
Having said that, though, I mean, they're still in this game very much, you know, with great slash plays inside.
Matthews with it. Reggie Theus wanted to carry there. Matthews gets to the rim and is swatted away. They got a foul. Kamara swatted away, but I don't believe they're going to get him on the foul. They're going to get against
Ruzon, I think.
Ruzon, and that's going to be his first. Team second. So Daniel Ruzon, junior from Las Vegas, picks it up. All right, that's going to send Milton Matthews to the line, a 78% free throw shooter. He came over with head coach Patrick Crave from St. Thomas. First one's away, and it is good. Spent his freshman year at North Carolina A&T and averaged 7 minutes, 3 points per game, but was an all-conference player at the NAIA level at St. Thomas in Florida. First team All-Sun Conference. That plays their conference basketball with Embry-Riddle right down the street here from Bethune-Cookman as he knocks in that second free throw. Matthews has 8, leads all scorers in this matchup.
We've already had 5 lead changes and 5 ties in this game, Kenny. This is shaping up to be a real back-and-forth affair.
Into the corner, 3 on the way. Kamara couldn't get that one to go. He had a huge game against Southern a week ago to have the Wildcats knock off the top dog and the SWAC, and that's a big 3 there by Chapman. Jordan Chapman knocks it in. 4-point lead here for FAMU now.
Just their second make from beyond, Kenny.
Freeman into the corner. Back to Freeman. He launches. Long jumper's no good. Here comes FAMU in transition. Coffey pushes it ahead. Out to Chapman. Back to Coffey. Now Matthews. Wide open 3. Off the mark. Long rebound into out of bounds. And it'll go back to Bethune-Cookman. Looked like FAMU was going to get a second chance there. Freeman's going to check out. Trey Thomas back into the ballgame.
Great pushing up by Florida A&M. Sometimes when you're a 3-point shooting team, getting a transition bucket like that's enough to get the fire started. And if they get it started here, BCU's in a fair amount of trouble.
It's only their second 3 ball of the game. Calero Martin, lots of contact. He gets the late whistle there, and he'll head to the line. Believe they're going to get O'Neal once again.
Yep,
and they will. O'Neal. It's going to be a second.
And really, that's just smart play from Martin right there. Sees O'Neal commit in the air. All you got to do at that point is just get it up in the general direction of the basket, and you're going to the line.
Jesus Calero Martin knocks it in. He's got 3 points now, all from the free throw line.
This Wildcats team has a smattering of internationals. Martin, one of them, from Malaga in Spain. Interesting path for him to come to Daytona Beach, Kenny, coming in by way of Missouri in the SEC.
Eatman back into the game here. O'Neal checks out with his second personal.
This Wildcats team, by the way, lot of transfers from other colleges. Pretty much everybody on this roster, outside of a handful of guys, are this is at least their second college stop, if not more.
Yeah, Calero Martin, who had a stop at Campbell before Mizzou, knocks in that second free throw. It's a 2-point game and a foul. Now it's going to go against Bethunecookman and Ruzon. He's going to pick it up, and that's going to be his second.
There's been a lot of...
Or no, they're going to get Martin with that. That's his first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of arguing on Bethune's side with some of the calls that we're seeing. Yeah, I can see why they called it on Martin there. I don't think Ruzon really did anything that was foul-worthy. There must have been something on the back end there.
Yeah, Ruzon came out of that play with his hands up.
He thought it was on him.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's one thing you have to be a little careful of when you get too demonstrative early on over whistles from the referee. Referees tend to remember that, especially late in games. You don't want to start showing them up early because that might hurt you late.
Perfect trip to the line there for Young, make it a 4-point game. Young's got 6 points. Martin dips it down low, and a nice adjustment in the air by Ruzon to get that one to go.
I heard an apt description from about Martin's game. Swiss Army knife. Yeah. I think that's a good way of putting it. This guy can do a little of everything. He can shoot. He can put it on the floor. He can pass. Obviously, great defense. Among the conference leaders in blocks.
Into the corner. Wide open three off the mark by Young. Here comes Bethunecookman. Feed it to Kamara. He catches, pulls it out, tried to slip it to cutting Trey Thomas. That would have been sweet, but it's out of bounds and a turnover.
Yeah, he tried the no-look there. I get it. You're looking for that top 10. I understand. But when you don't get it, coaches tend to get mad. And I think Coach Theus, he's definitely shouting at his boys about that one.
Coffee with it, working against Trey Thomas. This will be a matchup to watch throughout this one.
Now, having said that, though, I will say this. As a player, you know that
Young
if you execute...
drives, hands it off, going up, Eatman, and he got it to go.
You know, as a player, Kenny, if you can execute a play like that with a full building like this, you get the crowd going. It makes such a huge difference when you're the home team. It's hard not to try to do that in this moment.
Calero Martin in the right short corner feeds it down low. Kamara, and he's going to get fouled going to the line. You see that high IQ from Calero Martin. He's coming off a triple-double, his first of his career, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists against Grambling on Monday, and that's going to take us a timeout here. Wildcats will be at the line, down by 4, 28-24. Florida A&M with the lead here in the first half.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Some people deny the power of Flamin' Hot. Spicy deniers. They try to deny it to everybody.
Not hot at all.
But sometimes it's just impossible. So why deny it? Unleash your Flamin' Hot.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. Gatorade, is it in you?
3:51 to go here in the first half. Kenny Sherlinger beside Ben Dion alongside with you on the SWAC Digital Network here. Game 2 of men's and women's doubleheader. Men's hoops in action here. Florida A&M, Bethunecookman, FAMU leading it 28-24. Khalil Kamara at the line for 2 shots.
Well, we mentioned earlier that the men were going to have some work to do to live up to the women's game. So far, they're matching stride for stride. This one's been very tight throughout. We haven't seen one team really kind of pull away. We saw FAMU pull away a few times in the women's game before BCU eventually got back into it and then dominated an OT to get the win. But this kind of has the feeling, Kenny, of a game that's not going to get – you're not going to see one team get too far ahead of the other, I suspect.
Empty trip to the line for Kamara there, 80% free throw shooter. Just both of them. Matthews, jab step, 3, nothing but nylon on that one.
Oh, what a great fake. Used his shoulders so well to get the defender the bite on it.
Largest lead of the game, 7 for FAMU. Wildcats looking for answers. 1 for the last 4 field goals here. Ruzan. Jumper went off the side of the backboard into the hands of Coffey, who pushes it ahead. Drops it off to Matthews, who retreats out into the corner. Coffey, back to Matthews. He tries it from that spot again. That one's too strong. Wow.
I know why you want to free him up like that, but I don't know. I think that's one time where I think FAMU probably would have been better off just trying to work a shot open in the course of your normal offense. That was a bit forced.
Thomas couldn't get enough space to put that layup up. And Chapman running the floor with a layup up and in.
That's great transition play right there. Take advantage of the defense being out of position.
And the FAMU faithful get it into it. They've traveled well from Tallahassee.
Well, they're almost in double-digit lead territory here, Kenny. They're not too far away.
Largest lead of the game at 9. Thomas trying to get something to go. Step back, good. They needed that one.
And Reggie Theus
He wanted a timeout there.
He was calling for a timeout, it looks like. Oh, no. He was just clapping. It did look like a tee from my perspective,
I think he was trying to get a timeout. Right at the bucket there to try to keep the momentum in their hands. They got to get a stop here. Young tries to get some space, missed it. Here comes Bethunecookman. Lots of contact there. Young wanted the call. They're letting him play here. Willoughby. Thomas, 3 on the way. That one's off the back of the iron. Thomas knocked it away out of bounds off of BCU.
Thomas against Southern was hitting those types of shots, Kenny. Those wild ones from deep. He had 4 of them in that game on his way to 27 points. And what was a pretty big win for BCU. Grambling, one of the better teams in the conference.
Onania checks into the game. Ruzan's out.
Grambling State, the defending champs, although admittedly they are a much different look from the team that won it a year ago. They lost a lot of guys. But still, very much a team to be reckoned with.
Young trying to get some space. Reverse layup. Rolls in. Almost rolled out.
It felt like the Rim had a hard time deciding whether or not it would accept the contribution. Eventually it did. BCU could really use a couple of buckets and a couple of stops here, Kenny. They don't want to get this too far away from them at the half.
Thomas with it, down by 9. Thomas has 6 points. Khalil Martin tries a 3. That one's way off the mark.
He can hit that shot, but that's not really his game. He had a lot of room to run there.
And a FAMU timeout here by head coach Patrick Crady, as they want to try to extend this lead out to double figures here, up by 9. We'll stay with you here. 30-second timeout. Just to recap it here, FAMU, largest lead of the game's at 9 right now. Bethunecookman's largest lead was 1 point. That was back at the 6:41 mark in the first half here. Trey Thomas leads the way for Bethunecookman with 6 points. Matthews filling it up, 12 points for him. He's 3 for 9 from the field, 2 for 7 from beyond the arc. FAMU, despite living and dying by the 3 usually, they're only 3 for 13 from beyond the arc, so staying in this game, shooting it a perfect 6 for 6 from the line and 46% from the field. And a cold day so far for Bethunecookman, 33% from the field, 25% from beyond the arc. They've also missed half their free throws, shooting at 5 for 10, 50%.
Yeah, the difference, I think, has been Florida A&M's transition game. They've gotten a lot of easy buckets in that sense.
13 points fast break-wise, yeah.
Yeah, that's been a huge difference for them. And, you know, that's one way that you can overcome a cold shot, you know? Although ideally for the Rattlers, they don't really want to do that. They would like to start heating up from deep.
Charles got left open, and that's a slip and slide to the hoop.
That's the other reason they've been putting points up, Kenny, those slash plays inside the paint.
And a timeout by Reggie Theus, and that was a beautifully drawn play there by first-year head coach Patrick Cray to get the bucket and put them up 11, and now head coach Reggie Theus for Bethunecookman with the shot clock, game clock, 0.7 of a second differential. Can hold for the last shot here. You see the slip and score there.
Yeah, well, when we had a chance to talk with Coach Theus earlier in the week, Kenny, he talked about how he felt his team has grown as the season's come along, having to use a lot of guys at spots where he didn't feel like he was going to be able to use them. Injuries having a big part of that. Now he's going to get some guys healthy again. But sometimes when you try to get your injured guys back into the flow, it can kind of disrupt the flow you already have going. So I think we're seeing that a little bit from BCU. They're kind of in transition mode, trying to figure some things out with all these new pieces coming back. Obviously, Ward still on his way back from injury. Brayon Freeman, we're seeing him for the first time in a while.
Yeah, they've been missing Johnny Hunt and Antoine Jones, who got hurt in the first game against Texas Tech in non-conference play.
Brayon Freeman, I think, is going to be a big part for them, though, moving forward. If they want to have a good run in the tournament, they're probably going to need him.
Yeah, one less starter they're missing. Still missing 2, but they get a big one back with Freeman. Wildcats looking for an answer here. Under 10 on the game clock here, and shot clock. Thomas over to Kamara. 3 on the way. Couldn't get it to go, and that's going to end the half. And FAMU on the road is going to take an 11-point lead into the locker room here in Daytona Beach. Just get your thoughts there on that first half, Masad.
Florida A&M has
second half here after that first half with 11-point lead for the visitors.
Yeah, probably the big thing that sticks out to me, the rotations right now are really small. You've got Bethune only using really 8 guys, FAMU only using 7. And as we resume play here, Kenny, one stat that did stick out to me, points in the paint. FAMU's really done a nice job there, leading 20-8 in that particular stat.
Back to action here. Matthews fires a 3. That one's in and out. Gets his own rebound, though, following the shot, and they pull it back out for a second chance. Coffee picks up his dribble to Matthews. Back to Coffee. Pump fake. Now into the corner. Matthews, fadeaway jumper, no good. Willoughby gets the rebound.
Looks like FAMU rolling out pretty much the same starting lineup that they did here in the second half.
Kamara, the only change really here is he's in the starting lineup the second half here.
Yeah, that's the only change for BCU.
And that one's kicked out of bounds, so we'll stay with FAMU.
Yeah, for Bethune, I really think that they're looking for somebody to kind of just grab the ball and really show that the offense needs to flow through them. Trey Thomas, an obvious candidate. Freeman as well, I think, needs to be in the mix. Although, who knows if he's still ready to play more than a few minutes.
Nice hook shot there to swirl it inside the cylinder from Shakir O'Neal. They give them a 39-26, 13-point lead, largest lead of the game.
Well, the ladies did manage to erase a double-digit deficit on their way to a win. Let's see if the men can do the same here for Bethune.
Thomas behind the back, and foul's going to be on the floor going against FAMU. And they're going to get against Chapman.
Yeah. As you can see, Thomas, the battle of the ones there, and two got in the way.
Get it into Thomas. Pump fakes. Fade away. Off the glass. Bank shot there.
Nice use of the body, too. Leaned on Coffee to give himself the space he needed to fade that away. Thomas has been making a habit of that in this game, Kenny. That's the third time he's used the fadeaway to nail a bucket.
He's got 8 points. Half of his season average is 16 points a game. O'Neal tries a three. That one's off the mark. Good rebound there from Daniel Ruzon. Here comes Willoughby up ahead. Khalil Martin faces up to the basket, gives it right back to Willoughby. Willoughby's got 3 points, a couple rebounds as well in 20 minutes. Kamara hands it off to Trey Thomas. Thomas gets a switch, step back three on the way, in and out. Matthews comes in for his third rebound of the game, walks it across the timeline. Coffee, jabs, gets a switch. Khalil Martin now on him. Goes baseline. Tries to get it in the corner. It's knocked away off of Seneca Willoughby. He'll stay with FAMU. 7 seconds on the shot clock. A little bit more of a sleepy start here in the second half.
Yeah, Willoughby was a guy who had a big role for the Wildcats in their win over FAMU earlier in the year. Had 14 points in that win, as did Freeman.
It's a perfect 4 for 4 from beyond the arc.
So far in this game, though, Willoughby only with 3.
Coffee step back, no good. Khalil Martin gets it, hands it off to Trey Thomas. He rushes it up the floor. Now Ruzan, jumper, in and out. A lot of buckets there that are being left on the table by Bethunecookman. That lid's still on the rim for them. Now 10 for 31 from the field.
And you know, that's the thing. I don't think Bethune's actually executing that bad in terms of what they want to do strategy-wise. It's just shots just aren't falling, yeah. And that happens sometimes, you know.
Matthews gets the floater to go in front of the rim, and you get it close enough there. That's a high percentage shot. They're bound to fall, and it's 41-28.
Yeah, I think FAMU in some ways, they're probably feeling pretty fortunate right now that, you know, the lid's kind of sealed tight for BCU.
And a whistle late there. They got the foul. His Ruzon going to get that one and go, but he'll head to the line.
Well, that might be what BCU needs to do here. If the shots aren't falling, then maybe you just need to find a way to get to the charity stripe. That means forcing your way inside. And, yeah, that was a bit of a late call, but I think the right one. Eatman definitely got the hand on Ruzon's wrist.
It's Eatman's third personal, team's second. So Ruzon's going to head to the line here for 2 shots. Transfer from Manhattan.
Yeah, he's just kind of going around the country on his way towards getting a college education, huh? Originally from Las Vegas, going to Manhattan, now in Daytona Beach.
Charles back in the game as Eatman checks out. Coffee is out as well, as checking in the game here for the second half, Sterling Young, who has been effective scoring the basketball. He's got 8 points off the bench. And Ruzon knocks in a pair to make it an 11-point game again. He's got 7 points. Ruzon had 17 points against Grambling. 6 rebounds as well, as that's a whistle there. It's going to go against Bethunecookman. Young got in there close to the rim. And it's going to go against the Wildcats.
I think it's Thomas.
And we'll take a quick break here. 15:58 in the second half. FAMU up 41-30. You're on the SWAC Digital Network.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. fuels the best? Because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Music to my ears.
You don't have ears.
Starry, hits different.
15:58 to go in the second half. 41-30 is our score. FAMU, largest lead of the game has been at 13. They're trying to get a big win here on the road in the last day of the regular season in the SWAC. Both these teams coming into their last game. FAMU 10-7 in the SWAC. Bethunecookman 12-5 in conference play, as both these teams will head to Atlanta next week for the conference tournament. And beside, it's really been an exciting game, but you got to look at the scoring. It's just hasn't been the best offensive effort for FAMU, but they've just shot it better, a little bit better. 45% from the field, 32% from the field for Bethunecookman, and we pointed to before, but 13 points to Bethunecookman's 2 in the fast break point category in this game.
And the points in the paint, too. That's made a huge difference as well. 24-10 in that particular stat. For BCU, I don't think this is very complicated. They got to find a way to get points. The offense, I think, is working. The strategy is working. It's just they're not getting shots. They're not getting the fall. So you may just have to change your strategy a little bit here. Force more trips to the line. Try to get FAMU into foul trouble. Maybe that helps get your offense going again.
Young missed the first one, knocks in the second one. A 12-point game. Yeah, Bethunecookman's getting the open shots. They're just not falling. They're going to have to lift that lid off the bucket here in this second half.
Now having said that, actually, I'll wait on that.
Willoughby into the corner. Elbow. Ruzon couldn't get that one to go. It was another good look. Just couldn't get it to go and drop in. Here comes Young. Quickly ahead. Got that contact. And the bucket. No whistle, though. 14-point game. Largest lead of the game for Florida A&M. Down low, Ruzon, and he can't get that one to go, but this time he'll get a whistle and he'll head to the line.
Yep. I've often believed, Kenny, when you have especially two teams of fairly close talent, a rivalry setting, a lot of times the team that needs the win more is the one that has the advantage. Bethune, a win doesn't really matter to them at this point. They're locked in as the 3 seed for the SWAC tournament. They've won, their last 4. They've won 8 out of their last 10. They're clearly in a good spot right now. Florida A&M does need the win to help secure that top 6 seed that you're talking about. So there's definitely more of a desperation factor for the Rattlers here. I think you have to kind of count that in somehow.
Ruzon couldn't get that one to go. Yep, the top 6 get a first-round bye in the SWAC tournament next week. So that is something that is very valuable come March, playing one last game and try to get into the big dance winning the SWAC tournament.
Especially if you consider that the SWAC, like many of the mid-major conferences, the auto bid's the only one that's there. So you really have to kind of save it up for the tournament.
Young launches a 3. That one's off to the left, but the second chance rebound there. Chapman gets it off to Young. He goes up, gets the floater and the foul. And 16-point lead for FAMU now with 15:02 to go. And Sterling Young's going to head to the line to try to convert the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. That foul's going to go against Kamara. Hits his second, team's second.
Great pass from Chapman there off the long board, feeding a slashing Young after he missed that 3. That's something that a lot of shooters don't like to do. A lot of times you chuck that shot up and then you don't think to crash the board because you're confident it's going in. But that time Young did a nice job of crashing the board, and he got himself a shot at an old-fashioned three-point play here because of it.
So Young, the transfer from Charlotte, had 20 points coming off the bench against Southern earlier this week, and he can't convert on that free throw in the three-point play, but still a 16-point lead here for Florida A&M on the road here. Something I don't think we expected, a large lead like this in this game.
No, I definitely didn't, for sure. I figured this would be a little bit closer. But I think some of that is really just Bethune's just not had much luck offensively. Under normal circumstances, it should be a closer game.
As Trey Thomas knocks that one in, the fadeaway from the left side. 11 leads changes in the first matchup up in Tallahassee back in January between these two. Both these teams, completely different teams, playing a lot better basketball of recent. But right now, FAMU playing some really good basketball here on this Saturday night. Chapman, pump fake, pulls up for a short two, and that's nothing but net. They're just getting everything they want here. FAMU, and they're up 16, 48-32.
And now if you're Coach Theus, you think maybe timeout here, maybe get some of your starters out, try to find a spark from your second wave.
Down low. Oh, now Nia can't get that one to go. That one's too short. Tried to trap Matthews there, didn't work. Coffey comes quickly down the floor. Now Matthews, straightaway three, way off the back of the heel, and it hit the support system above the rim there, so it's going to be out of bounds into the hands of Bethunecookman. Bring on Freeman back into the game here for the Wildcats, maybe the spark that they need.
Well, if nothing else, Kenny, you can think of this as good time to figure out what he can give you for the tournament, right? Let's see where his health is. Let's see how many minutes he can give you. He could be that X factor that BCU needs to make a run in the tourney. So now's a good time to figure that out.
Wildcats in the half-court set. Freeman in the corner. That's the screen from Onania. Down low, Onania going to work. Hook shot, can't get that one to go. Rebound into the hands of Jamon Charles. Matthews curls around from the left side. Can't get that layup to go. Kamara tries a three, and he rattles it in right in front of his bench. That might be the spark they need. He's got 6 points.
Brayon Freeman, it's really such a weapon when you can have a guy who can dive in like that, and then you got options. Slash in for the easy two, kick out for an open three. And Kamara can hit that stand-up shot a lot.
Chapman cut into the basket, through two defenders, lays it in. He's got 11. Chapman now only averaging 8.3 a game. Having a good game here. 15-point lead. Cross-court pass. Kamara tries a three from the left side, or right side rather, gets it to go. $12-point lead. Wildcat trying to chip away here. They're going to need some stops.
Well, the good thing for them, Kenny, is that it seems like they found someone who's heating up from beyond.
Young, through some traffic, got that one knocked away. Here comes Willoughby. He pulls it out and gets it off to Brayon Freeman. Freeman, high ball screen, slips it down low. Onania gets fouled. He was trying to jam that one home, and a nice play there by Sterling Young to make sure he did not do that. As Young's going to pick up the whistle. That's going to be his first.
That's a good foul. You don't want to get the crowd going with a slammer like that. That's an okay foul in that situation.
12-point lead here for FAMU, 50-38 here in Daytona Beach. We'll take a quick break on the SWAC Digital Network.
Hey, yo, swag fans, the 2025 Starry Swag Men's and Women's Basketball Tournaments presented by Buick will take place from Tuesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 15th at the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta's Airport District. The tournament will feature the top 10 teams from the SWAC competing for championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. All 14 games will be broadcast live on ESPN Digital Networks. For more information on the 2025 Starry SWAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournaments presented by Buick, visit SWAC.org.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
The 176th meeting here between FAMU and BCU on the campus of Bethunecookman University here on the SWAC Digital Network. Kenny Sherlinger, Masad Bendion alongside with you. An rivalry that dates back to 1948. Second game between these two. These two opened up the SWAC conference play in January with each other, and they ended here on this Saturday in March. David Onania is at the line for 2 shots. Tried to slam it home right before the break. Sterling Young came in there and made sure he did not do that, but 2 shots coming for Onania, and he can't get that one to go.
Well, in that first game you mentioned, BCU winning by 7 in tally. Barring a big change here, looks like FAMU's going to get the revenge here in Daytona. About halfway through here in the second half. Bethune needs to find some points somehow.
And he knocks in the second one. Onania gets 1 of 2 to make it an 11-point game. He's got 1 point and a whistle. Timeout. And the shot clock did not start ticking there as Coffey was bringing it across, so they're going to have to tick off a couple of seconds.
Yeah, Onania, free throw shooting has definitely been something he needs to work on. 54% for the season at the charity stripe. Having said that, though, real big body down there. You can see why Reggie Theus is giving him time. He's a guy who clearly has a repertoire of shots he can use around the paint. Always useful to have a guy who can hit hook shots.
So the clock didn't run either. Clock didn't run, so they're just going to reset it and walk it down the floor again. Here we go, back to action here, 50-39. Coffey drives, got that one stolen away. Seneca Willoughby comes up with it, up the near side sideline. He goes up, can't get the reverse layup to go, and Coffey gets the rebound. Good transition defense there from FAMU into the corner. Chapman, 3, in and out. And a foul's going to go on Bethunecookman.
Onania is going to get called here, and he's clearly not happy about it. He's saying he got hooked.
So
Let's see.
David's going to pick up his first. Take a look at the replay here. It was a
nice transition there from FAMU. And, yeah, you can see what he's talking about. He thought Eatman had him hooked.
fadeaway. Matthews rattles in. .13-point lead. FAMU has led it by as much as 16 points in this one. Freeman into the corner. Willoughby. Long 2, no good. Kamara, big rebound. Can't get the tip in. And it's out for a third opportunity. Kamara in the corner. Got it. He's waking up a little bit.
Yeah, that's only his 4th 3 of the game. He's definitely finding some stroke from distance, Kenny.
Four for 7, 12 points, leads the way for Bethunecookman. 3 on the way, too strong. Into the hands of Freeman. Matthews couldn't get that one to go. He's gonna try another one. Kamara, got it. He's failing it. 5 3-pointers there for Khalil Kamara. And they got the wake-up call here. Let's see if they can get the offense going as well. Kamara.
If they can find a second player to start chipping some points in offensively, Bethune's got a real good shot to get back in this one, Kenny.
9:56 to go. We'll take a quick break here. 52-45. FAMU still with the lead by 7.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Today we celebrate the young, black, and fearless. You are the creator, envisioning new worlds and making them real. You are seen as a storyteller, weaving tales that inspire and connect on a whole new level. You are a motivator. Your passion hits different and ignites purpose in others. You are an activist, fighting for justice and equality. You are a change maker, and the future is yours. Be bold, drive change.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. Gatorade, is it in you?
$9:56 to go in this one. 52-45. Still a 7-point lead for FAMU, but a 6-0 run here for Bethunecookman. And it's all been Khalil Kamara. He is piping hot from beyond the arc. 5 for 8 from beyond the three-point line. 15 points for him. A week ago against Southern, he had 18 points, 4 for 5 from the three-point arc, and had the game-winning free throw against the top dog in the SWAC in Southern. And he's having another big one trying to will the Wildcats back. They've trailed it by as much as 16 points. Kenny Scherlinger, Masad Bendian alongside with you here on the SWAC Digital Network. Final game of the regular season between these two. And Masad, you feel that energy shifting a little bit towards that Bethunecookman bench here.
Yeah, and Kamara, he's been a regular in the starting lineup since the Alcorn game on the road. And more often than not, he's been hitting double-digit points. He's hit 18 a few times. You mentioned that 20-pointer against Texas Southern. That's his season high so far. And right now, if you're Reggie Theus and Bethunecookman, you're doing everything you can to feed the young man.
Young drives, can't get that one to go, and a big tip up and in there to clean it up by Eatman.
Having said that, though, all the shots in the world aren't going to matter if you can't get a few stops here.
Carlelo Martin tried to get it to Kamara. He slipped down. Freeman at the point here. Pulls up from the free throw line. Got it to go.
This is a good spot for a second scorer to step up here. Try to shoulder the load a little bit. And Freeman's a good candidate for that.
Freeman's got 5 in his first game since the 13th of January against Southern. Young, step back. 3, no good. Rebound, though, by Coffey. Now Matthews tries one. That one's too strong. Matthews gets his own rebound back to Sterling. Sterling Young still with it.
It's tough to win when you give your opponent this many bites at the apple.
Young, step back. Got it. Oh, man, what a play there. And third opportunity there. You can't let FAMU get second and third chance points there.
Yeah, that's a killer for momentum for sure. Having said that, though, Mo can be easily obtained with a few more threes or stuff like that from Freeman. Oh, he was trying to draw the foul there, and he didn't get it. And I can see why, too. He had a wide open look, and instead of going for the wide open look.
And a answer there on the other end of the floor by Sterling Young. Yeah, he had that wide open look and tried to bait him into a foul, and I think the officials saw that, didn't make it.
That's why they didn't call it. I guarantee it. That's why they didn't call it. You had a wide open look there. You got to take that shot. I understand you're trying to lean and get the and one, but you know, wide open like that, you just got to go for the shot.
Freeman goes up, and he's fouled. This time they will call it there, and rightfully so. That foul's going to go against Chapman.
That's when you want to go for the foul call on the and one on a play like that. When if you want to force that, then force it going into the trees like that. That's a great play. But, I mean, at this point in the game, Kenny, you get wide open looks like that, you just got to nail them. I know that that's not been particularly easy for BCU today.
We'll take another break here. 7:38 to go, 59-47 here on the SWAC Digital Network.
The SWAC, the premier athletic conference in the nation. A collection of schools rich in tradition, pride, and pedigree. Sacrifice, winning, allegiance, champions. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Music to my ears.
You don't have ears.
Starry, hits different.
Today we celebrate the young, black, and fearless. Whether you are a creator, a storyteller, a motivator, or an activist, you are a change maker, and the future is yours. Be bold, drive change.
Some people deny the power of Flamin' Hot. Spicy deniers. They try to deny it to everybody.
Not hot at all.
But sometimes it's just impossible. So why deny it? Unleash your Flamin' Hot.
59-47 is our score. FAMU here on the road looking for their first win in Daytona Beach against Bethunecookman since March 7th, 2019, 6 years ago. Bethunecookman has tried to battle back. Khalil Kamara has 15 points, 5 for 8 from beyond the arc, but a lot of answers, especially from Sterling Young. He's got 5 straight points for FAMU, has kept that lead for FAMU at double figures. Taking a look here, if you're just tuning into this one, it was an 11-point game at half. FAMU led it by 11. Fast break points and points in the paint have been lopsided. FAMU leading it 18-5 in fast break points, and in the paint 32-10 as Freeman couldn't get that first free throw to go. He's got one more coming here.
And that's why FAMU's got a double-digit lead despite only hitting 4 of 23 from beyond the arc for a team that leads the conference in three-point shooting.
Freeman gets the second one to go.
Definitely been an atypical way for a FAMU to win, no doubt.
Largest lead of the game for FAMU was 16 points. Bethunecookman last led it 6:41 in the first half, and that was only a 1-point lead. Coffee drives, hands it off, and it's two-handed slam, big-time slam by Eatman. Rocked the rim there. Jadarius Eatman, the graduate student from Birmingham, Alabama, rocks the rim and rocks this place.
Yeah, that's just great movement from FAMU. Points in the paint's been so huge for them today.
Freeman slices through the defense, dropped it to Ruzan, and it's a jump ball. Keep it with Bethunecookman on the baseline. So we take a look at this replay here. You can see this one coming from a mile away, and Eatman is a big individual. 6'10", 235. You can feel all of that one.
Yeah, and Ruzan had to commit there to the slash. He had to leave Eatman free.
Freeman tried to go up, got a block. Kamara in there to clean it up, though, is 17 points now for him.
He seems to have that golden touch right now, Kenny. He touches the ball, it goes in. Doesn't matter where it is on the court.
But if you're the Wildcats, you need a couple more guys going with them. Young, fadeaway, right-handed hook from the right side, gets it to go. He wanted to foul too.
Oh, that was insane difficulty. Great shot from Young.
Freeman quickly ahead to Trey Thomas. He's been quiet today. Drives, and he got that one blocked away by Matthews.
Yeah, Trey Thomas is definitely a guy that is essential for Bethune-Cookman's success. He had 27 in their win against Grambling. They could really use him or Freeman or somebody to give him some consistent buckets.
Eatman out, Charles in for him. Reggie Ward here on senior day trying to get to the rack, can't, and Kamara's right there to tip it up and in. He's really the only guy getting it done here for Bethune-Cookman. They're going to need some stops here. Down low, Charles got it to go. They call a foul. They either got a foul or a goaltend there. It's going to count either way. They're just going to call the basket good. It went in. So it'll be Bethune-Cookman basketball.
Kamara, by the way, 1 point off his season high.
You look at
and
the
yeah,
replay
it was
there.
a goaltend. That is the rule.
Either way, it's in. It counts. Freeman goes to the rack, gets that one to go on the offhand on the right side.
A lot of scoring right now. Problem is that doesn't really benefit BCU.
In a fast-paced game, the clock is really ticking down now, inside the 5.5-minute mark now.
Wildcats need some stops if they really want to have any kind of shot of getting back in this one. All the buckets in the world aren't going to matter. You really need stops.
Matthews tries a three. That's good. They're feeling it. Matthews with 19 points.
3 for 13 from today from beyond. Say whatever you want about Matthews. He hasn't been afraid to shoot.
Freeman trying to get some space. Gets some and gets the foul. He got hit.
And going straight to the locker room. Oh, no, he's coming back out. I think that might have been his hand. And that was the injury that sidelined him for a good while, Kenny. So maybe a little sensitive there. He's going to try to walk it off.
Yeah, it looked like he got jammed there, so he's good. He says he's good. He goes to the bench or says to the bench, I'm good.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
shots.
This is the time to find out whether or not he can give you quality minutes, you know? You're gonna get bumped in this game. So try to work through it.
First one's up and away, and it's good. FAMU in this second half, 51% from the field.
Him and Coach Theus are having kind of a funny conversation. I think Coach was just trying to make sure he was okay, and Freeman was emphatic. I'm good, Coach. You like to see that, actually, especially considering this is a game where BCU's down double digits. But he knows he's important to this team's future in the tournament, so nice to see him try to work through it.
Still only a 12-point game. If BCU can string together some stops there, almost stole that one away. And then they do. Kamara big there, poked that one away. Into the hands of Reggie Ward. Into the corner, Kamara. That one's off the mark. Ward there, back to Kamara. He goes up and one. Khalil Kamara having a day, 21 points, and he'll head to the line for a three-point play. But he's down.
That's already a season high for him, Kenny. That 21.
He gets up. Let's look at the replay here.
You had a feeling that was going in too, but great follow-up from Ward, and then Kamara, that slash play right there. He's gotten quite a few buckets today that way too.
We talked to head coach Reggie Theus, and he talked about how Khalil Kamara a week ago against Southern wasn't really getting anything going from that corner, and he kept on creeping up into the painted area, and Reggie Theus told him, what are you doing? We need you in that corner.
Yeah, it's
And
essential the way they run.
At the end of the game, he knocked in 4 huge three-pointers from that same corner, and he told him, I told you so, and he laughed at the end of it, and he ended up winning the game against the top team in the SWAC in Southern. He knocks in the three-point play there, and it's a 9-point game.
I can understand the frustration, though. You want to be involved in the offense. Everyone does, you know? That's just how it is.
Really just a trust the process moment there between coach and player.
Well, it's also understanding your role in the offense, right? You need to have someone in the corner with the way that BCU runs who can hit a three. And clearly, Kamara can do it.
Coffee drives. Got hit. Thomas got him. He doesn't like that call, and that's going to send Roderick Coffey III to the line. And that's going to be the second foul against Trey Thomas. That's the fourth team foul on Bethunecookman here.
Yeah, that call got the natives a little restless, Kenny. Now, having said that, though, Kamara, hopefully he learned a valuable lesson in that conversation. You know, when you're that corner guy on a team that has a lot of guys who can dive bomb, you need to have someone in that corner who can hit that three. And yeah, sometimes it's frustrating because you won't always get the look. But if your offense works right, it will eventually come. You just need to be patient.
Can't hit that second one, Coffee. 10-point lead. 4 minutes to play in this one. Wildcats trying to make a push here. They're on a 5-1 run.
And I'd say it's fair to say that Kamara will definitely be a focal point moving forward.
Freeman behind the back, gets to the rack, and he'll go to the line once again. And that will take us to another timeout here in Daytona Beach. 3:49 to go. FAMU up by 10, but Bethunecookman trying to make this one a game and come back in it in the last couple of minutes here in the final regular season game for both these teams. We'll take a quick break here in the SWAC Digital Network.
Ayo, SWAC fans, the 2025 Starry SWAC men's and women's basketball tournaments presented by Buick will take place from Tuesday, March 11th through Saturday, March 15th at the Gateway Center Arena in Atlanta's Airport District. The tournament will feature the top 10 teams from the SWAC competing for championship titles with 2 NCAA tournament berths on the line. All 14 games will be broadcast live on ESPN Digital Networks. For more information on the 2025 Starry SWAC men's and women's basketball tournaments presented by Buick, visit SWAC.org.
Fun, memories, friendship. We're here for all of it. Here for the big moments and the small ones too. We're here for unforgettable triumph, momentary misfortune, and the impromptu throwdown. We're out here each day, chasing something great. Call it adventure, call it play, we call it fun. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
3:49 to go here in the second half. And in this game, 69-59 is our score. Florida A&M has led it by as much as 16 points. They have been led by Sterling Young's 20 points off the bench. Matthews has 19. Khalil Kamara trying to will the Wildcats back with 22 points, but they have some work to do at the defensive end of the floor in this second half. Red hot, 51% from the field for FAMU. Bethunecookman, though, right behind them at 47% and 4 for 7 from beyond the arc. Good for 57%, really on the back of Khalil Kamara. 2 shots coming here for Brian Freeman. He's playing his first game since January as he knocks in the first one. That foul went against Eatman. That was his 4th, so he's going to have to be careful here. He's still in the game. 2 for 2 trip to the line, 8-point game.
The path for BCU to come back here, Kenny's pretty simple. You need defense to turn into offense. Got to get stops and then got to get shots.
Full court pressure here. It's broken by FAMU. Matthews hands it off to Coffee. Eatman, who's playing with 4 personal fouls, hands it off to Matthews. Crossover, gets some space into the corner. Coffee now drives, gets in front of the rim, and rolls it in. That seat is parted for him.
Nice work there by FAMU. Stayed patient with their offense. Didn't force a shot. They don't need to. Working the clock down is good for them.
Back to a 10-point game. Reggie Ward. 2 is short off the front of the rim, grazed it, and here comes FAMU.
And Kamara is going to need some assistance here.
Yeah, Kamara comes up limping here, and he's going to hop off the floor.
Boy, that's a big blow for BCU, Kenny. with the way Kamaro's been shooting today. Season high already for him in points. And now you got to figure out what you're going to do. They're going to bring in Ruse on, so right now your three threat is probably Willoughby.
So
and Freeman too a little bit.
Kamara's off and in a lot of pain here. And like you said, Ruzon comes in for him.
And realistically, Kenny, at this point in the game, he's probably done for the game.
Into the corner. Young tries a three, couldn't get it to go. Willoughby comes up with it, gets it to Freeman. Freeman quickly ahead, lays it up and in, finger roll. Timeout on the floor, Reggie Theus. For Bethunecookman wants to talk it over. 14 points here for Freeman in his first game back, like we mentioned, since January. It's a big piece to get back for the Wildcats, averaging 16 points a game before being injured back in January, and he's showing it here with 14 points.
This isn't just a strategy timeout, though, Kenny. I think Coach Diaz is trying to buy time for Kamara, get him treated, but just based off of his reaction and on the bench, he's not in the huddle. I'd say his night is done. They're not even really treating him right now, so young man had a great performance, no doubt, but that's probably the smart move at this point of your BCU. Ultimately, the tournament is what matters. And you're more than likely going to need Kamara. And yeah, you see, he's just going to try to walk this off. He's probably going to limp back to the locker room.
So the full court press will be in effect here for Bethunecookman, but FAMU, Florida A&M's going to have to break the pressure here. Milton Matthews.
Oh, smart heady play right there by Matthews.
Stolen away by Jesus Calero-Martin, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line. They're in the bonus.
Two smart plays back-to-back, Kenny. I love it when an inbounder hits one off the back of the guy guarding him. Martin left the back open. Matthews took it. And then Martin just overwhelmed him with size, snatched the ball right back. That's just two really smart plays back-to-back. And now Bethune.
And that foul's against Matthews. That's his fourth. 1-1 is Calero-Martin knocks it in.
And not for nothing, but Matthews has been pretty much FAMU's only threat from beyond in this entire game.
Calero-Martin can't get the second one, too strong, and he forces a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of FAMU, but he flips the possession arrow, which could prove big later in this last couple of minutes here.
Tell me you have a high basketball IQ without telling me you have a high basketball IQ.
Yeah, both Matthews and Calero-Martin, you could see it back and forth, almost like a poker game.
That was great stuff.
Still having trouble breaking the press. They finally do. They get it across. Chapman got it stolen away for a second, but it was in the hands of Eatman. Now they're going to pull it out and kill some clock. Sterling Young, who has 20 points here for FAMU, leading the way for the Rattlers.
You can't afford to be too patient here if you're BCU.
Long three from Young, in and out. Calero-Martin gets the rebound. 7-point game. 2 minutes left.
Can't afford too many empty trips up the offensive end of the floor here if you're the Wildcats. You got to find buckets. You got to find them now.
Ruzan gets it back to Freeman. Stutter step. Fade away. Two. Got it. 5-point game. Bethunecookman right back into it here with a minute and a half to go.
FAMU at one point in this game with a 16-point lead, Kenny. It's now cut to 5.
Long pass. Chapman gets it. That was dangerous. They get it across. They'll kill some clock here. Shot clock down to 15. Bethunecookman will play it out here. You don't want to bail him out here with a foul.
Yeah, but it's also more important they don't score.
Tough defense. Shot clock inside 5 now. And a whistle at the end with 2 on the shot clock. Looks like Willoughby's going to pick this one up.
Yeah.
It's going to be his first.
And obviously the frustration large there for the junior from Philly, but I think that's the right call. He caught hand. I mean, he was clearly trying to go all ball, but, he definitely caught a piece of hand.
Only the 15 foul, so there's still have one more to give.
The real killer is the shot clock.
Matthews in and out, and they bailed him out a little bit there with a quick shot.
He probably should have ate it.
Freeman with it. Trying to make it a one-possession game. Kalelo Martin feeds it to Reggie Ward. He goes up. Offensive foul. Big play there. Chapman steps in to take the contact.
I definitely love to see that replay again. That to me seemed like more of a no call.
Lots of contact down there.
There was a lot.
Reggie Ward picks up his first. Let's see if we get a replay here. As they're way up the floor, a lot of players hit the deck there. I want to make sure there's not slippery down there. And a timeout on the floor. We'll stay with you.
The positioning was good, though. I will say that. The defensive positioning was very good. So that's probably the reason why the whistle was blown.
So BCU takes the timeout. 71-66 with 47.2 to go. 5-point game. That was a big call there to give it back to FAMU as BCU was trying to cut it down to a one-possession game under a minute to go.
Realistically here, Kenny, BCU is probably going to have to go full court pressure or whatever kind of pressure. They need some kind of pressure. They can't afford for FAMU to sit on the ball. So if you've got to draw fouls here, you got to do it. But you're only one away from the one-on-ones. So really just one more foul gets you there. If you're FAMU, right now Patrick Crary, you're telling your team, get ready to hit free throws, because that's probably what's going to ice this game.
As a team here today, 72% for FAMU from the charity stripe. Matthews, their best free throw shooter here today, 4 for 4. They've only had 3 players, Coffey, Matthews, and Young head to the line. O'Neal in the game here for FAMU. Matthews will trigger it in.
They got a lot of their best shooters out there. Makes sense.
They get it in. Coffey gets trapped. Kaleo Martin in there, and a timeout. Heads up play there from Roderick Coffey III to get the timeout as he was trapped in that corner. That was exactly where Bethunecookman wanted them to throw it.
Interesting that we didn't see Bethune give up the foul to send him to the line. They were clearly trying to go for the steal and get FAMU to panic and throw it away. Smart timeout there from the head coach, Patrick Crary.
Only one timeout remaining for both these teams, so keep that in mind as we go through these last 40 seconds, especially if Bethune-Cookman can force some more traps.
Yeah, but the thing with the traps, Kenny, is that it eats time. And time is not what they have right now. 43.4, that's just not a lot of time. I mean, maybe you can try it one more time, but realistically, you can't give up more than 5 or 10 seconds. At that point, you've got a foul. And considering you're down 2 possessions right now, you can make a great argument that you probably should just be fouling now.
So a tricky spot to get it in now. Matthews gets it in. Coffey goes up. Now back to Matthews, and now they're going to foul him as Matthews is head to the line. Jesus Calero Martin's going to pick up the whistle, and that's going to be his second.
And that took about, 5 seconds off, roughly? 4, something like that. That's good. Try for the trap, but, again, you don't have a lot of time. That's a sign of a good, well-coached team. You understand the situation. You understand you don't want to give up the foul, but you also don't have too much time to play with. So if you've got to give up the foul, give up the foul.
Matthews at the line, 4 for 4 from the line here tonight. He's a 78% free throw shooter on the year. 1-1, knocks in the first one, earns himself a second one. The next foul will put him in the double bonus.
FAMU fans making themselves heard there, Kenny, with the Let's Go Rattlers chant.
Matthews, one more coming, and he knocks in both to now bring his total up to 21 points. 7-point game here. Freeman, 3 on the way. That one's way off. Willoughby, 3. Got it. They cut it back down to 4.
Well, that was a fortunate break for BCU. Long rebound straight into the hands of another 3-point shooter. And Willoughby had a good look, too. That one didn't really hit off anybody.
Big 3 ball there from Seneca Willoughby, his 6th point of the evening. Wildcats overall, 8 for 22, 36% from beyond the arc. 18% for FAMU, 5 for 27 for a team that really lives and dies by the 3. They really have made that trend not the case here tonight. And really riding that with a lot of fast break points, 18 fast break points, and 40 points in the paint for FAMU.
That's the big one, I think, especially late in this game. You're seeing FAMU really work the middle and get a lot of good buckets like that. That's not the easiest thing to do for a team that lives and dies by the 3 either.
So now we're going to get a football play here from FAMU. All 5 players on the baseline.
Yep, trips left here.
Matthews, the quarterback, gets it in. They pull it into the corner. Battle for the basketball. Martine. And they're going to say Young stepped out of bounds with the basketball on the baseline. He'll go back to Bethunecookman. Let's take a look at the replay here. It looked like Martine had it momentarily. For a moment.
I don't know that that's going to give us the best angle, but regardless of whether or not that's BCU ball, man, does Martine give you plays that just don't show up on the stat sheet, huh?
Absolutely.
That is so critical.
Fastball IQ.
Yeah, man, that is so important. Really a guy, the stats I don't think really measure his worth in this game especially. He's really made some strong IQ plays.
That one won't go down as a steal, but he's got 2 here tonight.
It essentially was a steal.
Freeman. Fade away, can't get that one to go. Rosen is in there to lay it up. 2-point game. Timeout, last timeout burned here from FAMU and Patrick Crave.
That's a good spot to burn it. You had a lot of Rattlers deep inside the defensive zone there. BCU was in good position to trap whoever got the ball. Really, to avoid that trap, they need to spread it out a little more. I'd like to see them maybe try to break it by some kind of deep pass near the middle of the court. I mean, even if it's a turnover, it gives you enough time to set up your defense.
Take a look at the replay here. Fadeaway no good, but Ruzon is right there to clean it up, and that's a big bucket to make it a 2-point game.
Very surprised that there wasn't a body on Ruzan there. I mean, at that point in the game, you got to be contesting every rebound. That was entirely too easy.
So 73-71. FAMU's led it by as much as 16 points. That was at the 13-minute mark in the second half.
Kind of interesting how this is paralleling the women's game, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Similar situation. I believe the Rattler ladies were up 11 at one point.
Yeah, the largest lead was double digits, 11.
Yeah, and then the women, the BCU women found their way back here. Reggie Theus' guys essentially in position to do the same thing. Could we have a second OT game here? We're about to find out. Regardless, though, 2 high-quality games today here on the SWAC Digital Network from the Moore Gymnasium. It's been a lot of fun.
Both teams are in the bonus. Bethunecookman 1 foul away from being in the double bonus from FAMU.
And who knows, Kenny, we might see a 3rd edition between these 2 teams in the tournament.
Yeah, you never know what happens in the conference tournament. You see a lot of rematches, especially between rivals all around the country. Chapman's going to get it in here for FAMU on the baseline. Looking to get rid of it. Khalil Martin knocks it away. That's not the guy you want to see in front of you. He's got a high basketball IQ and a big wingspan.
I was actually half surprised Chapman didn't just hit it off Martin's back again. He definitely had the opportunity. And that really may be the best play here for Florida A&M, because if he can get it inbounded like that, Kenny, the Wildcats are going to have to foul him. There's just not a lot of time left. No, shot clock isn't working. So,
shot clock turned off here. So Bethunecookman trying to get a quick steal or foul. They get it in, and Coffey's going to get fouled by Willoughby. It's going to be his 2nd, 8th team foul. So 1-on-1 here, a big 1-on-1.
Yeah. Although if you're BCU, you kind of don't like the fact that it's Coffey. He's one of their best free throw shooters, 84% on the season.
He's 1 for 2 here tonight. Bethunecookman hoping for at least 1 miss to keep it a 1-possession game. Coffey trying to make it a 4-point game. First one's away, it's good. Coffey's now got 8. Quiet scoring, but 9 assists, leading the way for the Rattlers in that category.
Not impossible for BCU to come back and win this, even if FAMU hits all their free throws. Does make it a lot more complicated, though. You're going to need a 3 at some point.
Coffey's second one, it hits the front of the rim and rolls in. Feel everybody holding their breath on that one. They get it quickly ahead. It's out of bounds off of FAMU. O'Neal, they say it went off of. It was really close because it looked like Ruzon might have stepped out of bounds. Let's look at the replay here.
Well, O'Neal definitely touched it out. The question is, was Ruzon out before that happened?
They're not going to look at it. It's going to be BCU basketball. That's close.
Very close. I think ultimately the right call, but definitely very close. I am a little surprised they're not reviewing this.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at it, especially because Patrick Crary is talking to the officials to take a look at it. So it's going to be the biggest call of the game here.
No, it's the right move to go to the replay on this one. As you can see, question is he out of bounds when he touches that ball?
It's going to be tough to... Now the call on the floor was FAMU. It went off of FAMU and O'Neal, so they're going to have conclusive evidence to overturn it.
Yeah, and what it really comes down to, you really just have to ignore O'Neal. That doesn't matter right now because he definitely touched the ball out of bounds. The question is, was Ruzon out of bounds when he touched the ball? Because if he was, then what O'Neal did doesn't matter. It really just comes down to Ruzon. That's what they're going to be looking at here. So 23 for Bethune. Actually, no, sorry, it's Ward. It's Ward I meant. So, you know, he definitely had a foot out of bounds.
And they're going to keep the call the same there as they come out of the replay location, saying it is BCU basketball.
I suspect maybe not enough to overturn conclusively. Remember, it's got to be conclusive. And based off that angle, I don't know if you can say it's conclusive.
Willoughby will trigger it in. Gets it in. Freeman, layup no good. Whistle. Let's see where they got the foul.
No basket.
Khalil Martin tipped it in, but they say no basket. The foul was before. 2 shots coming here for Freeman. Foul's going to go against Matthews, and then he has just fouled out of the game. That's his 5th.
And if FAMU needs a 3 at some point, that's going to be large. He is their main 3-point guy.
So Matthews fouls out. They're going to have to get a substitute for him. And coming in for Matthews is Jameen Charles. Well, Matthews out of the game, the leading scorer for FAMU with 21 points. So if you could somehow, if you're BCU, get it to overtime, that could loom very large.
Yeah, and Charles not a like-for-like sub. That's clearly a move to bolster the paint.
Freeman knocks in the first one. He's got one more coming.
Charles 6'11", 220 forward.
That was also your best free throw shooter. He was perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line at FAMU with Matthews. Second one is good. It is a 2-point game, 75-73. Chapman trying to get it in. It's tipped up, stolen away. Khalil Martin goes up. Whistle, out of bounds. It will be Bethune-Cookman basketball. But they're going to take a look at it. Reggie Theus wanted a foul call there, as he's really adamant with the officials there.
And some of his players are pushing him away. He's really heated up right now.
Take a look at the replay here. Is this one stolen away? Khalil Martin comes up with it. And he wants a foul there, and I don't think I blame him much. It looked like there was a lot of contact on the arm.
I mean, we've seen fouls called for less. We've seen that in this game. I can understand coach's frustration here.
And now they're going to look on and see if this will be overturned. Again, this is BCU basketball. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Yeah,
that was a call on the floor.
Yeah, let's be honest. Let's make this clear here. There's 2 different things being argued here. The replay is for the ball out of bounds. What Coach Theus is arguing was the foul on Martin, which is not what they're reviewing. And so they're going to confirm possession to Bethune.
So it's going to be Bethune-Cookman basketball. They confirm it. So, yep, you can't review foul calls there. But Reggie Theus just wanted to make sure that he let the officials know speak his mind on that play. But Bethune-Cookman's going to have the basketball on the baseline with a chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3.
And what do you draw up here if you're Coach Theus? You know, he probably goes the safe route here, Kenny, and tries to tie the game. But, man, I'd be tempted to go for the win, especially if you get a good look.
Willoughby looking to get it in. He gets it in to Freeman. Freeman curls around into the corner. Khalil Martin for the through-in. 3's got it. It's a 1-point lead for Bethune-Cookman. Quickly ahead. Young trying to win the game. He missed it. Bethune-Cookman wins it. They win it. They come all the way back down.